Good morning, Knicks fans. It's yeah, boy. And you are now tuned into another episode of OU and Knicks podcast. I have the beautiful Miss Lee here with me today. And we're going to be talking about basketball. And not just the Knicks. But I do want to start a few things off. And I do want to say something to all the Knick haters out there. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for putting the drive into my Knicks to be the best team that they could be at this point in time. Thank you for being the sorry MFers you are. Trying to ruin basketball by even creating a team called the Brooklyn Nets. Thank you. Thank you, basketball and Knicks haters. That's all I got to say about that. How you doing today?
I'm good.
We seen something, that was real bad happen last night. I'm pretty sure you know what it is because you watched the game also. And if you who are listening at this point in time don't know what we're talking about the tragic injury of Mitchell Robinson. About 5 minutes into the first quarter of last night's game, Mitchell Robinson went down with an injury where he fractured his foot. We are still waiting further evaluation from team doctors to, tell us what's really wrong. Now, usually, these injuries hold, a recovery time of 6 to 8 weeks. So, it's all about, I guess, the severity of the injury. So we're going to have to just wait and see what the doctors are saying because even though a typical one will be 6 to 8 weeks, if it's worse than, what it's supposed to be, then it's going to be even longer.
Most likely season and ending injuries. So.
6 to 8 is season injury,
right.
Season ending, excuse me. So, I mean, we already know right now that Mitchell Robinson is going to be gone for the rest of the season. How you feel about it?
I mean, it's sad. I mean, he just got back.
Right.
Basically, you know what I'm saying? He just got back from recovering from his hand. And now, for him to be out again, I think the Knicks are capable of going on without him. But at this time, I think they need to kind of figure out what they really going to do.
As far as what? Signing a free agent center?
Yeah, trying to get a free agent center because they need that at this point.
So who do you have in mind?
The only
don't say who I think you about to say.
The only one that's out there right now is Drummond. They better go get Drummond, do something.
I mean, Dang out there too. Dang, one thing that I could say about Dang is he could stretch the floor. He could shoot threes.
Which Dang is that?
He played. You probably don't know who he is. He played for Minnesota. He played under Tom Thibodeau before with Minnesota, and I believe he was, if I'm not mistaken, I believe when Cat was hurt one time he was starting, but I believe the rest of the time that he was there, he was coming off the bench. And this is when Zach LaVine was on Minnesota. Dang was over there. And just to make a long story short, he could stretch the floor. He can shoot threes. He was averaging he was shooting, I think he was averaging 2 to 3 threes per game. And I think he was making 2 out of 3 of those threes. So he can shoot.
I just think at this point, if they speak to Drummond and, just to see where he's at, at this point to at least try to push, because right now they in good standing right now to where they don't have to do the playing. Hopefully They won't have to do the playing with them staying at the 5th seat right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully
we tied for 4th actually.
Hopefully they can, sign him for the end of this season and see, how he do and then go from there and come up with a long-term contract if need be.
Can I say something here? I don't think that they'll be able to sign Drummond without giving him a long-term contract. I believe in the negotiations when they was talking to Andre Drummond that extension came up in that conversation. And I'm pretty sure because of you hear that a lot. You hear the Knicks talking a lot about the future, the future, the future. And when you heard them talk about that situation, they was referring to Mitchell Robinson and Noel being a part of the Knicks' future. So I'm pretty sure when they told him like, "Yo, listen, man, this is only a end of the season rental," I'm pretty sure Drummond is not going to want to get with that because why get with that when he could just go to the Lakers or go to another contender and possibly win a championship?
Yeah, but they gonna rent you too.
Yeah, but at least a championship can be involved.
And, okay, but that don't mean that you can't get one with the Knicks. If you come over there and you do what they expect you to do, if you really want to win a championship, put in that work, do what you need to do, and win that championship.
Right.
At the end of the day, because if y'all so busy worrying about getting the money, then basketball ain't for you then. Like, don't know. I understand you want to get that paper, but you've been getting that paper for years since you've been in the league. Now, the team that you just leaving is apparently you wasn't conducive to what they wanted. So they decided to buy your behind out. So don't think that, okay, they bought you out. Now you going to another team and you're going to be sitting up there being lackadaisical. No, you're not.
Yeah, you're going to have to
You're going to have to put in that work. If you're not putting in that work, you ain't getting that paper. I'm saying.
I just feel like, I don't know. I'm partial to the Drummond situation because I understand his value. He's a good offensive rebounder. He's a good defender, which people try to say that he's a bad defender. Drummond is not a bad defender. I done seen him lock plenty of dudes down.
Yeah, but...
And he could score. Yeah. And he could ball handle. And he could pass. I think people look down on Drummond because of the things that you... See, let me talk to all you Knicks fans out there. If you really know basketball, then you know that when a person is on a team, they are given a role. They are given a role to do the things that the coach is asking them to do. They're not just there doing what they want to do. Because if you do what you want to do, in most cases, unless you like a bona fide superstar like LeBron James or Kevin Durant or somebody of that stature, if you are given a role and you do not fulfill that role, as in even if you are better than what that role is, meant for you to be, if you don't fill that role and do what they want you to do on that role, you will be benched. You will be benched and you will eventually get traded or bought out. And I believe that's what happened to Drummond. What you wanted to say?
But you know what? To be honest, I think really what it is because the game of basketball is changing. And because the game is changing, they want every position to play basically every position. If you're a center, you can't be a regular center anymore.
You gotta shoot threes.
Sits there and guard the paint, rebound the ball. They want you to do everything that all the other positions do. They want you to rebound. They want you to defend. They want you to shoot. They want you to do every position. They want you to be able to shoot on the outside. They want you to be able to shoot on the inside. They want you to be able to shoot mid-range.
But that's not a bad thing, though.
No, it's not bad. But you got to understand, when these guys... That's why I don't understand why a lot of them don't up their game like all the other players don't up their game. With Card, what's his name? Paul Gasol upped his game. Lopez upped his game. It's like a lot of them is conditioned themselves to the changing of the NBA. But then you have those players that is so used to playing one position. That's what in their mind, this is what the game is about. Right. But because the game is changing into different situation and a different league per se. A lot of them, they can't condition their bodies to be that way.
Yeah.
So you have to, in a sense, still be mindful and understand that, okay, this is how basketball really was, but now y'all conditioning and wanting everybody to play all these positions. A lot of them, they want to do it, but it's like they like, no,
bodies won't let them
their
do
body won't allow them to do that, or their mindset in their mind, listen, I'm used to old school way of playing basketball, and y'all changing up the game a little bit too much.
Right.
So it's like they like, no, we still need to play basketball the way basketball needs to be played. And I feel like that's just how some of them are in their mind. Like, nah, I still want to play old school basketball.
But you can't in these days.
And
that's why a lot of y'all don't have any jobs. Not saying per se like a job in general, but a basketball job. That's why you're not on a team, because you can't change your game to the way that the NBA is played.
Right.
But like I was saying, there's a lot to be said about Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond has the handles of a guard. If you really ever looked at how Andre Drummond can move with the ball, he could go coast to coast with the ball. And I've seen him try to stretch his shot out. And I've seen him hit threes, a couple of threes in the game, but it wasn't good enough to the point where you could rely on him to stretch the floor for you. What you wanted to say? Go ahead.
And then another thing too, he draws a lot of fouls.
He do. But he can't shoot free throws.
And the thing, right, and that's the thing. He cannot shoot free throws. So, and I look at that too at the end of, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you've been in this league for so long and you still can't shoot free throws. You remember how often DeAndre Jordan used to go to the free throw line?
Hack-a-Shaq.
They used to do the hack-a-Shaq on him constantly. Why? Because they knew he can't shoot free throws.
And when you get to the playoffs, that's one of the last things that you want to have to worry about.
Right. You will want them to do. Like, yo, we know this dude can't shoot free throws. So, and what they used to do when they used to do that a lot, towards the end of the game, they would take DeAndre Jordan out.
Okay, so can I say something? You bashing Drummond right now. But I thought you wanted the Knicks to get him.
I'm not. It's not that I'm bashing him. It's just that right now, because not saying Noel's and what's his other name on the team?
Taj Gibson
and Bullard. Not saying Noah's were doing the great. It's the simple fact is sometimes they slack on that defense and boxing out. We need someone that's gonna be able to get those rebounds, in pivotal time of the game. We're going to need somebody to do that. Because, I feel like we could just use them up until then. When it's crucial to the game, you just take them out and put in your shooters.
That's a fact. I believe Tom Thibodeau has the mindset to be able to take Drummond out when times get hard and you see that they trying to foul this dude like that.
Take his behind out.
Exactly.
But use him towards you can use him for the first 3 quarters of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
But when it comes to that 4th quarter game and y'all trying to win, know when to pull them.
Right. Exactly.
So you can win this game and move on. And he gonna have to understand that. You just gonna let him know, like, yo, listen, you trying to win just like we trying to win. When it's time for you to go, you just gonna go.
All right, so with that being said, you're voting for them to go for Andre Drummond at this time. Am I correct?
Listen.
Yes or no? Let's give me a yes or no.
At this point, I'll say yes.
Okay,
because
which leads to my next question to you. And this is going to be a hard one because people not really thinking about this right now. Let me give you a basis of my analysis on this type of thing. Mitchell Robinson has been hurt 3 times this season. He's been hurt. I believe he was hurt last season for some time. Can you say that Mitchell Robinson is going to be for a long term, do you think injuries is going to be a problem for Mitchell Robinson? And if you do you still think that the Knicks should, move forward with him? So, do you think his injuries is going to be a problem coming into the future? And if so, do you think the Knicks should just let him be or move on?
No, not really, because a lot of players, I feel like, because he's still young, so the fact that he's getting these injuries now, in a sense, to me, it's like, okay, get these injuries out the way in a sense, because then now you know how to like maneuver, and then he'll kind of find a way himself on how he play players and how he'll monitor, in a sense, how he'll land when he do certain things. Because all of this, a lot of times with injuries, it allow you to find yourself really as a player, and how in your mindset now, how you will move, how you'll do certain things, and but still do what you need to do effectively, in a sense to where you're not overdoing things. You're not gonna put yourself in positions again to where
get an injury.
To where you'll get an injury.
So do you think that the Knicks should focus on him as the future, like give him that contract? Because right now, Mitchell Robinson has a $1.8 million option, a team option for next season, but they can extend him this summer to a bigger contract. Do you think that the Knicks should do that?
I think they should, because if they give him up, because a lot of times when Knicks give up certain players, they do go elsewhere.
I hate that.
And they flourish.
They be balling. Look how...
They do. They do. Because I feel like...
Hold on. For example, for you guys, look at Thanius, who the Knicks drafted with the second round pick that they had. Put this guy in a G League. Let this guy come play for the Knicks on certain occasions because they was trying to get his brother to the Knicks. But look how he scorched us last night. Had his career high, even though you could say it was a Knicks revenge game. Look at how much he has developed. I hate that. I hate when a player who plays garbage for the Knicks and then go to another team and just plays like they are all-star.
But a lot of times it don't be that. I see that, but a lot of times these players don't get a chance to play on the Knicks.
He had chances to play.
But not all of them get to play to the extent.
He had chances to play. The Knicks gave that kid chance after chance.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
How many minutes was he playing in the game?
He wasn't playing major minutes because every time he would come into the game, he'd do something stupid.
Okay.
He couldn't shoot. He was strong. He was a good defender.
Okay.
When he was playing with the Knicks, he was a good defender, but he couldn't shoot.
Okay.
Now all of a sudden you pulling up from logo, hitting threes. Get out of here,
that's
boy.
Because he probably don't practice.
He could sandwich that.
He probably don't. I don't care because I didn't even know he was on the team. So I don't really care. But I'm just saying, a lot of times when players leave the Knicks, that's because the team that they're currently on don't put the time into them to develop them, and it allows them to play.
No. That's what the G League is for. We sent him to the G League. You think we didn't have offensive-minded coaches? I could only say this: was he? Somebody, whoever watching this video, comment in the comment section and let me know, was Thanius on technical poll? Was he on the Knicks when Jeff Hornacek was the coach for the Knicks? Because we all know that Jeff Hornacek, at the end of the day, he's an all right coach. He's an offensive mind coach. He can't coach defense worth a damn, to be honest with you, but he is an offensive minded coach. And the thing about it is, your want to thrive and to be better should make you a better player. I've seen Giannis come out and make terrible decisions when he was with the Knicks. He can't shoot. The only thing that he did good, he had a couple of okay games, but the only thing that he really did for us was play good defensive. And when we needed offense at that point in time. So, with that being said, you think that the Knicks should go forward with Mitchell Robinson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's no reason for Andre Drummond. My thought is
for a rental, if he's willing to do a rental.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, I don't think that Andre Drummond is looking for a rental right now. I think Andre Drummond is looking for a home.
Well, he can get...
And if he's not going to be the major thoughts of the Knicks, then the New York is not his home.
Well, his home might just be the Nets, since they trying to get everybody.
It's over for. I doubt if he going to the Nets. No,
because if he go to the Nets, all next season, the end of this season, half they players leaving.
Okay, so you dragged us there.
Oh,
so let's go there right now. Let's go there. How do you feel about the Brooklyn Nets?
Trash. They garbage. I
not in game. They're gonna be a tough out.
Oh yeah, but they just changed the whole. They just changed the whole. All they all trying to do is beat LeBron.
Listen, somebody pulled it up on Twitter today about when everybody when Kevin Durant said everybody trying to join the Lakers, or I believe the Lakers and the Heat. Where's the competition at? Dude, you just did that 2 times to 2 different teams.
Exactly.
You went to Golden State Warriors and stacked the deck. Now you on Brooklyn and you behind the scenes stacking the deck, bro. You are not a leader. This is why, listen. How much you want to bet? When the playoffs come, Kevin Durant will not be the leader on the team, but Kyrie Irving and James Harden will fight over the leadership spot on that team. I'm telling you where the problem is going to come, because Kevin Durant is a follower. He feels like he's one of those players who feels like he'll never be able to do it alone. And the one thing that I have to say, and to give to his credit, because another person who's like that, and that is LeBron James. Even though LeBron James will take on the task of doing it by himself, he's another player who feels like they cannot do it by themselves, that they need help. They always asking for help. But right now, Kevin Durant, boy, that kid is working behind the scenes, and he's trying to stack the deck. He has stacked the deck. That LaMarcus Aldridge signing, that was stacking the deck. That Blake Griffin signing, that was stacking the deck. Them boys over there in Brooklyn are stacking the deck so that there is no competition. I hate when teams do that, because you leave no competition. You make basketball not fun anymore. Why do you think that the ratings went down? Because everybody already pretty much knew who was going to win the championship when Kevin Durant was with the Warriors. They already knew right then and there that the deck was stacked, so there was no competition. Nobody had enough firepower to be able to go against this one team. I don't like when teams stack the deck against competition, because you make basketball not fun anymore.
And they think that it's fun in your eyes.
Yeah, in
their
eyes.
You feel like you're going to win, but it's not fun. Who wants to sit there and watch a team that's loaded with a whole bunch of stars just sit up there and just...
How many all-stars do they got? They got Kevin Durant. Right now, the current all-stars that they got is Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden. Including with past all-star, Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, DeAndre Jordan. Who else is over there? Let me think. Oh, Jeff Green. I believe he was once an all-star once. I think he got selected. Excuse me. Maybe not, but I'm not sure. But I'll just take him out of that. That's 6 all-stars, right? The 6 current all-stars and former all-stars, former superstars on your team right now. Boy, you are stacking the deck, boy.
I still feel like they gonna lose.
They just might.
Sure, because I don't have no faith in them.
Nah, not only that, because Boston just got better.
And then right now,
Philly still is in it.
And then I don't even think they really built no chemistry. You been out, nigga. What injury he got?
Who?
Durant.
I believe it's
You've been out. You've been out for so long, and then Harden really been the one carrying the team.
That's true.
He's the one who's been carrying the team.
And that's another thing that I want to squash too about that MVP debate. This dude, he created an entire debacle in the media with his team instead of handling it in-house. One thing that we could say about teams when they do that bull crap and they withhold a player from, they just said this player ain't gonna play no more. We're not gonna disrespect them, and that's that. He went on a whole tirade. He wouldn't come to the games. He called out people on his team that had nothing to do with the previous regime that was there. This is what makes me think like, nah, I'd rather have Jokic as the MVP. You don't hear nothing about Jokic, and he's still balling out. You get what I'm saying to you? So all that MVP talk that we doing about with James Harden, yes, the numbers do count, but the person that you are counts also. The person that you are, how do you lead your team in the way you are, the person that you are. This is why people say that LeBron should have won it for the last 10 years because of the person that LeBron is.
And then being the MVP, you have to have certain characteristics anyway. I understand it's all about the game, the stats and all that, but what does your personality say about you and how you carry yourself? How, because I know Kyrie will never probably get an MVP with his little nasty attitude.
Yeah, that kid is confused.
It's crazy.
Confused.
It ain't confused. He need a mental evaluation. Yeah. That's what he need.
Yeah.
Saging stadiums and stuff. What the heck is
wrong?
Nah,
my only issue with Kyrie is I just don't know what he do. One day you would think that he Hebrew Israelite. The next day he a Native American shaman. The next day, he's a Muslim. The next day, he's a black activist.
He wears many hats.
That dude, he walking around with shaman sticks through.
Why? You know what
now?
What
are you doing?
You know what now? You probably
why every time that you say God, you got to say Allah too?
Oh, jeez.
What are you? Who you trying to appease? All the nations or something
Everybody,
like that?
The whole world.
You making one single post multicultural.
He's saying, he's saying I represent everybody.
He represent everybody.
I represent everybody. Say if you need me to be a Moors one day, I'll be a Moors just for you.
He gonna be a Moor too.
He gonna be everything for everybody. You can't please everybody.
He's a flat earther. We forgot about that.
Oh,
He's a flat earther. This kid is confused.
Pray for him. Let's just pray for him.
Yeah, you gotta have have a prayer circle for him.
Let's just pray for him. Let's just
put him in the middle of the circle and just pray around him. You never know what might happen.
Hello.
He might turn into a whole different person on you. Kyrie is sick.
Let's hope it's a good person.
Yo. Oh, congrats on the baby though. I do want to say that. Congrats on your baby though. I hold no ill towards that, man.
I love babies.
Yeah. Congrats on your baby though. But you, brother,
I love babies. That's all I gotta say. I love babies.
Okay, so now we've covered Mitchell Robinson. We covered a little bit of the game that that they had last night. We done covered Brooklyn Nets. There's pretty much not much that I really want to cover beyond this. So we're probably going to end it, end it on that, for you guys, but, at the end of the day, what's your predictions for the game against Miami?
When do they play Miami?
We play Miami Monday.
Oh, they play they could beat Miami.
I know we could beat
I love
them.
Miami.
Yeah, I know that we could beat
Miami. But I think they have a chance of beating
we
Miami.
definitely have a chance of beating Miami. But the question will be for me is, will Julius Randle be back? And I believe that he should be back.
He should be back.
Right, I hope he is.
You ain't got your injury ain't that bad.
Right.
You can ice that, massage it, do whatever he should be back.
Yeah, hopefully.
But I think without him though, with what they showed me yesterday, they capable of winning the game.
RJ Barrett is capable of.
They capable of. It's not a one-man team.
But RJ Barrett is that guy.
But it doesn't matter. It's not a one-man team.
RJ Barrett is that guy. No matter what she's talking about right now to you guys, RJ Barrett is that dude.
Okay, regardless of the fact that
21 points,
dude,
7 rebounds, 7 assists, a couple of steals.
There's other players on the team that can put up that too.
Burks and Burks quickly Rose showed out too.
And
but I'm just talking about with the leadership.
Okay, and I get that, but listen, basketball is not a one-man team. It's a team.
I understand.
It's a team game.
But that's the guy, Barrett, and that's the guy. Quickly, they are the guys.
Okay, that's not a one-man team. You named two people. It's not a one-man team.
Basically,
but I get what you're saying.
Basically, what I'm saying with the leadership, RJ Barrett is that dude, and he's amazing to me. The leaps and bounds that he's taken, and I'm not one of the people saying that we should have sent him to the G League or put him on a bench or anything like that. But I was one of those people who were worried about RJ Barrett at the beginning of the season when he was going on that stretch where he was just playing terrible. My thoughts of the matter was he needed to stop shooting as much and drive into the paint, which he's doing now. Driving into the paint and crushing them, because I said that. I said he's stronger than your typical guard, but he's slower than your typical guard.
He is slow.
Yeah, he's slower. But go ahead.
But a lot of times, I'm glad that they allow him to develop his game even more. Because a lot of times, because a lot of times when you're a rookie, you go through those rookie walls. You go through those upsets within yourself.
That's true.
I don't think I'm capable. But if you study and allow yourself to develop, you can be one of the best players in the world. You know what I'm saying? But you as a player, you have to evaluate yourself individually and develop your own craft.
That's true.
And that's what a lot of the players don't do. They don't take the time to continuously grow. You have to keep growing, especially if you want to be in the NBA. You have to grow.
Want to progress in
the
NBA.
You have to. You don't want to sit up there, I want the money, but then you're not putting in the work to get that money and get that contract, especially to be on that team that you want to be on. You have to develop your game. You have to. That's the only way you're going to go far in the NBA.
Do you think Zion will come help RJ Barrett?
I don't know. Listen, if he feel like it ain't working over there in Portland, in on the Pelicans, listen, sometimes you have to move on. I understand that's the team that draft you, but if you don't feel like your game ain't going nowhere, the team ain't going anywhere, you have to move on. And it's okay for the players I feel like it's okay for players to say enough is enough. I'm ready to go. But for teams to, and I don't like that when teams decide it's time for a player to go, but the player can't say themselves that they ready to move on. I feel, to me, that's wrong. Y'all can say, this person is on the trading block, but when they pointing it out themselves that it's time for them to go, they want to get fined, they get talked about, and all. I feel like that's wrong.
No, everybody has their equal rights.
Right, and I feel like that, and I feel like that's hypocritical.
Yeah, especially
And for
if
you
you
to hold a person onto your team because they don't want to be there, that's wrong too.
and then you got to think of the betterment about how that player feels too, especially if they one of the players that's okay. Yeah, they getting the money, but they also want a ring, and they
Yeah.
want to leave to be able to try to get themselves a ring. You have to understand
And
that,
you're not putting anyone around them to help
right?
them
Especially
get
if you're
to.
not doing that.
Yeah, and a lot of times with teams, I understand if you don't have the cap space or whatever to get the best player in the league, but a lot of times y'all put out money on people that's not even worth it. Like,
I.e., Nicholas Batum and Charlotte Hornets,
like,
who soon as he got the contract, he never played for them again.
why would you? Don't waste your money.
Yeah,
Just think about the players that you know you want on your team and where you're trying to go with your team. But if you a team that really ain't trying to go anywhere and you just want to waste money on players, that's on you. If they want to, but you're not gonna. A lot of superstars, if they do sign to a team, they sign because they feel like, okay, I can take this team somewhere.
right.
I can do something. But if you're just throwing money at me, I'll come at, a lot of players would just come take the money, and when they contracts up, they bouncing.
Yeah.
They out the door.
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful with that as well. And especially if players do want to be on a team that's winning. But I don't feel like you should overstack the deck too as well, because I feel like that's unfair. That's not making.
Well,
but I feel like
I don't feel like that with teams. If a team want to try to stack the deck, I'm talking about players. I'm talking about players within themselves, like who conspire behind the scenes and be like, hey, yo, come join here. Come join here. You come join here. You too. You come join here. You come join here. We have a common enemy in LeBron James. Join me and let's take down LeBron James.
And that's what it is. And I feel like their whole purpose is all wrong if you're focusing on one man. Like, come on. It's and I mean, we all know he's great.
Yeah.
But I feel like when they do that, I'm saying for me, if I was a player and I see that only would drive me even more to want to be the best of the best. Because I look like, oh, y'all want to stack? Okay. I would really give them a reason to want to knock me out. If we're in the playoffs, I'm going to play them you know what I'm saying? It's like your mindset has to change. You have to, and all I can say is the best way to beat the Nets is defense, okay? Y'all better bring defense on them because they don't play defense. Because that's the only way you're going to beat certain teams is to shut them down. If your team is built on defense.
Yeah, like the Knicks.
You have to play defense on a lot of these teams. Because once I've seen game where you just it's like there's no way for them to shoot. All they're going to do is keep trying to find ways to pass the ball. And the minute they're in the midst of passing the ball, shot clock violation.
Exactly.
You have to play defense. And once you start playing defense, don't ever stop playing defense.
Exactly.
I don't like when teams just stop playing don't defense. Play defense. Defense wins game.
Okay. So you guys basically got our picks. Hopefully that the Knicks do, be able to beat the Heat when they play them Monday. I want RJ to put up 50. But we're not going to hold you guys anymore. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for Miss Lee for joining me. And, just stay tuned. Make sure that you follow us on Twitter at OU a Knicks fan page. Check out our articles that we do for Sports Blog. And make sure if you're new to this channel that you do like and subscribe. Even if you don't like it, you can hit the thumbs down button. I really don't care. But if you like our content, make sure that you like and subscribe. Share it to all the platforms that you are a part to. Get the word out because we are here and we are going and we will continue to upload that great content for you guys. Until next time, peace.